Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there. A sphincter says what?
Exactly.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Salty and Petty Podcast. Well, she's a little bit salty.
He's a whole lot of petty. And together, we're the Salty and Petty Podcast. And we're just going to remind you, you're definitely not worthy.
Showing. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is
Love.
Abraham Lincoln.
God. Cringy. Almost died from secondhand embarrassment rewatching this damn thing.
It's so weird. I mean, well, again, this is
like I have memories, but actually rewatching it, it's just like you will get into it.
Well, I mean, this was the thing that wasn't this one that started the trend of like, oh yeah, we can make whole movies out of Saturday Night Live sketches.
Yeah, so to speak to that, I am not a Saturday Night Live girly. I've never really been. I swear, I've probably only seen less than 10 whole episodes of SNL and maybe like 3 or 4 bits, like Dick in a Box, like those kind of like the digital shorts.
Yeah.
But like actual like whole one, like I might catch like if somebody that I like that's performing, I might watch the performance. But like I don't care about who's hosting because whatever. Like SNL's just not my thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a Mad TV girly. I'm a Kids in the Hall girly. I am not a SNL girly.
I mean, there are decent seasons. I mean, like the '90s stuff was good. Some of the early 2000s, like these days, it's pretty much like the only thing I really look forward to tuning into is the weekend update. So
I could see that. It's crazy how many like people have like been a part of SNL and spun off. But like the thing, I guess what really like I guess burns my goose is like I guess the treatment of like their black cast members, like how there can only be one, and how like they didn't even want to give Eddie Murphy, who was literally at the top of his game, they didn't really want him to be there. Like, what the fuck? Like, I can't. Lauren Michaels is a dickwad. Everybody knows. It's just lots of things that it just is like I just really don't get it. But like I didn't even know like when I watched Wayne's World, I didn't know it was like an SNL skit when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I did kind of like watch a couple of whatever was on YouTube, like the old skits.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently like the skits like had like a certain thing. I guess it was like from like the late 80s is when it started. Right? I guess
Yeah,
like those skits.
I'm trying to remember like when
Like Wayne's Power Minute or whatever. Like that thing, I guess.
I was gonna say it started. It started. I know it had to have started when Mike Myers was on there because I think Dana Carvey was there a little before him.
Yeah. So like yeah, show it like the sketch they like kind of tried to like you know what I mean? It's I get it. Like the sketch is how it evolved into the film, but like I don't know. I don't know how Mike Myers like I think like at that time Mike Myers was too good for SNL. I mean now he would love to be on SNL because he totally tanked his career, but like I don't know. Like it's really kind of funny. Like
Well, I
how
think
things happen.
I think SNL had more cachet back in the day too.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like they're supposed to be like from Aurora, Illinois, and it's like is that like a Brat Pack thing? I feel like that's like a Kevin Smith. Like I think people like just way too obsessed with the whole John Hughes of it all. The Brat Pack.
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
Like this is like kind of like noticeable when like I actually like start thinking about it a little bit. Like how influential John Hughes has been on like filmmakers, comedians, and stuff like that. And it just like now that I'm looking back, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny how they expand the whole sketch. I think pretty much every sketch, at least the ones I've seen, it's just them sitting in the basement. That part, but
yeah, it's like dream sequences and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, of course, the classic, you know, fade out by waving their arms. You know that is classic.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like I said, I got caught up on it, and like the one that I saw, it had like Phil Hartman in it. I guess he was like Garf's father, and I really like that one, but I love Phil Hartman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then also I guess Candice Bergen, aka Murphy Brown, was like Garf's mom too.
She might.
And that carries over to the film, but like yeah.
She probably hosted like well, probably a week she was hosting. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of funny and cute too.
But yeah, I mean, this movie that is like the opening sequence. I cannot listen to that Queen song to this day without thinking of that opening sequence.
Man, there's so many great Queen songs that show up in movies, right? Or TV shows, because
Mhm.
Highlander has the best Queen song ever.
Oh
For
yeah.
the theme song, so which I know that Masters of the Universe must have been pissed.
Oh, why they wanted it?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard originally it was for that movie or something like that.
Oh really?
Yeah, but yeah, it was just kind of interesting learning the backstory on it, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, it was a big thing. I remember seeing it in the theater.
And it's crazy, like TV stars become movie stars just because they were in SNL. Poor Dana Carvey.
Why?
Like, where's he at? What's he doing now? But he went on to do like Master of Disguise, but I think that was the only other thing he ever really did right after SNL.
I don't know if he did some stuff in comedy. I think he's one of the 20 people from SNL who have like a podcast now.
Everybody has a podcast.
I know.
Your grandma probably has a podcast.
I think. Oh, was it? It's him, and it might be David Spade might do one together. I thought I heard.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I do have a friend that is a fan of David Spade and did say he had a podcast, but I don't know if he ever said anything about his co-host. But that feels right, if that makes sense. I can't believe this movie's from 1992.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, I can rewatching it, but it's like people still, losers like us still.
Well, yeah, yeah. Especially,
It's just so seminal. Like honestly, like the swing thing. Like, come on.
yeah. I mean, if you're the right age and the right, like I was 14, it hit me and my buddies. It hit all the right buttons at that time. Yeah.
And let's just take this back. This is a Paramount Pictures production, but I don't think this is actually on Paramount Plus, which I find interesting.
Mm-mm.
It came out on Valentine's Day. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was trying to think because yeah, well, I know I just watched it a few weeks ago when they replayed it on HBO, but I'm like, I looked it up and like, where can we watch it? It is on some you have to like pay no matter where you watch it. Like,
yeah, that's
there's
crazy.
nowhere.
I'm like, Paramount Plus, what are we doing here?
Yeah, Paramount. I don't know unless it is there like rights issues because it's like either that or who.
It was back in the day when it was like CBS Viacom split up, but like I think that they should actually have direct rights. But I think the thing is, I don't know if I think I've mentioned this. Paramount Plus may be being sold, so I think that they are putting as much of their catalog on other, because like I said, even Star Trek the movies are like on HBO right now or something like that. It's not even on Paramount Plus. So I feel like they're trying to license out their things like Sony does instead of like putting on the main streamer because everything's up in the air right now.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if Apple actually buys them to consolidate. So the Apple Plus TV, which you will be hearing about on Full Stream Ahead this month, me ranting about that, needs some damn content. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that merger happen. So yeah, I don't know, but I just found it really interesting.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, I think you keep saying this. I'm like, I mean, they're all in trouble, right? So I mean, there's gonna be a bunch of like probably takeovers and consolidating.
Like mergers, definitely. Like I know that I know Apple Plus definitely is looking for a partner to so that they don't have to keep making all that original content, which is super expensive.
Yeah.
To have somebody with a back catalog like that. And listen, Paramount has a back deep catalog. I can't for the life of me figure out why they're struggling. Like they were at one point the fastest growing like streaming service, especially like with older people. Like it really got old people to tune in. And then I think what happened is like Peacock got the old people with Days of Our Lives by putting it streaming.
Oh,
they became the fastest growing streaming network because of that move.
Well, yeah, aren't like a bunch of those I don't know, are they even on network TV anymore, but a bunch of those soap operas, aren't they streaming now?
Yeah.
Like
I
General
just know about Days of
Hospital and
Our
all
Lives
that.
because my family is the Days of Our Lives family. It's the whole NBC like soap opera block, whatever it was. But I just specifically Days of Our Lives, that whole thing. So like, yeah. As the world turns, some people's grannies watch as the world turns to General Hospital. Just Days of Our Lives happen to be our household. So yeah, I just found it interesting, and I was like, I have them on DVD, so I was just lucky enough to do that. But when I was like going through the content catalog, I was just like, that is so weird that it's not here.
I know. I was like, does Lord Michaels have a piece of that or anything, or NBC or?
I don't think so. That, like I said, it was CBS the whole way through. That's what I found so interesting. Everything that I said pointed to CBS Viacom because that's how it was attributed back in the day before they split it up into the TV being CBS and Paramount specifically being the movie studio. CBS is just like a whole thing. It's a
Oh yeah,
whole thing. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's just weird. But I think it's so cute because it's like I remember when public access television was like a thing. So like
yeah.
after like your Sesame Streets and your just standard PBS stuff would go off, you would see like just normal people having a little TV show. You know, like it's giving, happy little trees.
They were their podcasts of their day.
Truly, it's so interesting. Truly it is. And it's so like, regional too,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like Elvira was regional at one point, public access
Mhm.
television regional. And it's just so fascinating to see. Like this is very dated. I don't even think they. I think the closest thing we have to public access television now is like Roku channels.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say it's all internet now, right? Podcasts, YouTube. YouTube.
Yeah, the internet definitely has made making a fool of yourself a lot easier.
Yeah, but you have a
But
bigger reach though too.
if you're lucky,
I mean, if it's on the internet, anyone in the world,
in theory.
they
But it's
could.
just always
They
funny because
could.
they're basement dwellers, and it's like, oh god, damn it, they're doing it out of Wayne's parents' basement, and it's just so funny.
And I'm like, wait a minute, you don't get paid for public access, do you? Or not a lot, right?
I have no idea how public access
Because I was gonna
television
say, like
worked.
Wayne's World 2, they move out and like get their own apartment. I'm like, they're really not getting paid that much, are they? If anything.
I think it might be like podcasts with sponsorship and stuff. Let me
Uh,
see. Um, Although non-commercial educational television. Oh no 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 no.
I mean, come on, we'll sell out. Come on. Sponsorship?
Oh, it comes from private memberships, donations, and grants.
Ah.
So like you could probably they like as a public access television host, you could probably like say, hey, you can send a check to this place, and I think that's probably how they got funded.
Okay.
Just like PBS when they're always doing those damn pledge drives, and I don't know how many tote bags are in my fucking garage from my mom always every single quarter without fail.
She can't do that. Your grandmother's on a limited budget. Stop the show.
Exactly. So true. So yeah, but it's like some slight exaggeration with it, on that part. But
Mhm.
I love that the Fender Stratocaster is always gonna be goals, no matter what decade you live in.
No Stairway to Heaven denied.
Oh, I love so many movies ripped on that too. Like, you see a guy in like Guitar Center and they're like the sign, please do not play Stairway to Heaven. And that's a real thing. I saw that when I was in Las Vegas actually. I was at a Guitar Center and I saw that sign and I was like, that's a real thing. That's crazy. It's not even easy to be quite honest. So yeah, I just Benjamin Kane. A shout out to Rob Lowe. I have had a crush on Rob Lowe forever.
That dude doesn't age.
It's vampire.
Mhm.
Everybody talks about Keanu Reeves, but nobody talks about Rob Lowe.
I know. It's nuts.
I really enjoy this whole cast, honestly. I forgot that Tia Carrere was like an actual like she could actually play like instrument. She was like in a real life band or something like that.
Yeah, that's like the weirdest thing because you know what random place she has a song on? this she's on the soundtrack because she did the last song, the final song on Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she also is and she has some songs in the Lilo and Stitch films and the Lilo and Stitch TV show. And then I remember her. Like, I remember when I watched it, I was like, that's that lady from Duck Dodgers. She's also in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That's an interview we need.
I would love to interview Tia Carrere. Everything that I've ever heard about her, she is just a lovely person.
Oh yeah, that's what I say. Well, from what it sounds like, she's a great person. And swing.
Yes, of course.
Oh,
so yeah, like she's an actual real singer. Like, it wasn't like just a model who happened to sing. Like, she actually was like pursuing that, and this kind of presented itself to her. And she has 2 Grammys.
Oh really?
Yeah. I remember her too from True Lies as well.
I was gonna say I was looking at her filmography here. Yeah, True Lies. You said Lilo.
Yeah, she was booked and busy in the early 90s.
Oh yeah, Rising
And
Sun.
she looks so good to be 57.
I know. Like I like you'll see her. I'm like, she can't be that old. And I was like, oh wait, she was in Wayne's World in 1992.
10 years ago.
I know.
So yeah, I think like she is definitely my favorite part of the movie.
Oh yeah.
But I really enjoy it. I liked Mike Myers. I still do. Like, I know like Love Guru was like where he got like banned from the industry and stuff. I don't know like what kind of crack he was on to even do that movie. Like, I don't know. Maybe we'll do a conspiracy theory about it one day, because that is insane. If you've ever seen the Love Guru or even seen the trailer, you like know.
There's a few things where it's like he's either hot or not. Like So I Married an Axe Murderer. I can't sit through that.
I love that movie.
Real? Well, you're an axe murderer, but
exactly.
Yeah.
It's content for me, okay? Relatable content for me.
But it's like like the first Wayne's World and like the Austin Powers movies. It's like, oh yeah.
Okay, but I think Wayne's World 2 is actually intentionally bad because like this movie, like as somebody who's like worked in the industry, like on sets and stuff, I think it is so super meta if you're in the industry, and I think that's like it's kind of like a peek behind the curtain, and it feels very much so that way, and especially with like the fourth wall breaking and stuff. But I think Wayne's World 2 is intentionally bad because there's never really good sequels. I think there's a lot to look at in Wayne's World 2 from that perspective, and I think it's just one of those misunderstood movies, honestly. I don't think it's that bad. It's not as good as the first. It's nowhere near as good as the first, but I think it's misunderstood like how you're supposed to watch it. Because Mike Myers is actually like, he is I think he's a really great writer. I think a lot of the stuff that he does actually goes over his head, other people's heads.
Yeah, I could see that too. But
because it's just supposed to, like, everybody thinks Wayne's World is just like this mindless like laugh-a-thon, but like if you know that it's like, ooh, he kind of nailed that on the head, especially like back in the 90s. Like, we now have the Me Too movement, and we kind of see how awful the industry has been since the creation of the industry, So like that's something that I can like kind of like look at and see, oh, he was really giving us a wink and a nod. Seriously, maybe he was asking for help. I don't know.
I do love that joke with Tia Carrere and Rob Lowe. It's like, is that you or the snake?
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it's too. I mean, your point. You're exactly right on the sequel, but I'm just like, do you think there was enough?
I can get why people wouldn't like.
Do you think there's enough in this in the brand for 2 movies though?
Commentary. Is there like Jurassic Park 2 in New York? Come on, we didn't need that, and we damn sure didn't need the third one where they're not even on the right island. And then the reboot with Chris Pratt. I'm just saying.
Even if a movie is highly, highly successful, that
doesn't guarantee that the sequel will be. I mean, honestly, if we're going to be
automatically
the second Star Wars movie in any of the trilogies,
do you automatically have to do a sequel?
You do. The money demands it. The money people demand it. If you make a certain amount of money, you are guaranteed a green light. And even if the original people don't want to do it, they're going to bring somebody else in to do it. That's just how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of hints at that in the movie in part 2. But yeah, I like how they purchased the rights to the show for $5,000 each. But that's 90s money. Like, so that's like probably like what, $30,000 in 2020's money?
Something, yeah.
But I just found that super interesting that was the price, and it's like, yeah, so they use that to purchase the guitar, and it's like, and then he like starts flirting with Cassandra, and it's just like, I mean, who would say no to Rob Lowe?
Yeah, but if he wasn't a huge jerk,
It's the '90s. Everybody was a jerk.
I-
Shout out to Jay Moore. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh!
Anyway, that might have been a deep cut. Hopefully you didn't hear that. He's the kind of guy that Googles his name for Google News alerts. So anyway, uh, I got beef with a lot of people. Anyway, I love the all access tickets to
Join the
Alice Cooper.
Patreon before March, kids.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I guess we will be doing conspiracy theories.
Oh, but you're punching your own ticket here. We got to.
Yeah, I like that. Like, I don't know, like it's just kind of like how people in the industry work and operate, and they're so schmarmy, and they kind of like you don't even realize it. Because I mean, come on, they're like from Aurora, Illinois. You know what I mean? Like they're dopey guys. They don't know nothing about the business, and he totally kind of exploits that.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's such the business where it's just like they're more interested in the brand than the actual host, himself. It's like, oh yeah, this will speak to the kids.
Yeah. Then he's like, yeah, we'll produce a video, a music video for Crucial Time. I'm just like, are you sure? Yeah,
Well, and again, Rob Lowe, he wanted to,
so smarmy.
get in her pants.
It's just like, yeah, we got to revamp it. We got to make it bigger and better. And, they bring in the professional studio stuff. And, it's just not as fun when the suits get involved. I tell you this all the time. And I understand there's a time and a place for suits and the money people. But especially nowadays, like, I think, and that's why, like, the whole thing with AI, like, I totally understood was the sticking point for a lot of people in the different industries when they were on strike. Because they want to control the creative so bad, like they can't ever say, "Oh, we were wrong." When they make certain choices and movies bomb, and it's specifically because the suit said, "Hey, add this person." A la add Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action show. The kids will love it.
Or here, let's
spoilers. They didn't.
Or let's completely rewrite this. Stay tuned for our Madam Web review.
Yeah, let's make it make no sense, and it's only tangentially related. And we have to throw in the name of the only name we have left that Disney can't use. Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, so it's just for me, like I like rewatching it in that aspect, but like it's so dated.
Oh yeah,
dated.
Yeah.
Like people don't even get record deals anymore. Like it's true.
And then it's like a small like cameo part, but it's like I remember in 1992, everyone excited. They're like, "Oh, they got Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy."
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
A couple though. They had Laura Flynn Boyle. They had Chris Farley. They had Meatloaf. Robert Patrick, and I already said Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper.
I wasn't expecting Alice Cooper to have that big of a role. But you know that saying, actors want to do something else, and rockers and rappers always want to like be actors or sports stars.
Oh yeah.
Grass is always green on the other side,
And again, it's going to be like, you pay me how much? Okay.
Exactly. And I thought that it was really interesting that it was a woman that directed this movie, Penelope Spears.
Yeah.
And like I don't think she ever really did anything else after this, honestly. So I found that interesting. That they chose. I think, because I think female directors, especially back in the 90s, are probably a little easier to control.
Oh.
Because I felt like I saw an interview where Mike Myers says like, yeah, Wayne's World is good, but it could have been better. They really didn't let him do what they wanted. They made him team up with Bonnie and Terry Turner, who are like just epic writers. They did the Roseanne show. They did Third Rock from the Sun, that 70s show. They're just like, they are known in the business. And I feel that they really just basically took his idea and kind of fleshed it out more. And I think they kind of told him no on a lot of things.
Oh.
Because it's like, you're a comedian on a sketch show. What do you really know about, writing a movie or a TV show?
Yeah, I was going to say a movie's a big budget movie's different than a couple minutes sketch on, Saturday Night Live.
Exactly. but again, they're TV based. I just found that was super interesting for me as well too. That they didn't like actually try to get like a movie screenwriter or a screenplay, to write the screenplay or anything like that. That's just interesting. Like I said, it's just little interesting things that I noticed. In retrospect, I love when when Noah Vanderhoff comes into the party, and I'm just like, I wish I owned amusement arcades too.
Oh
That was
yeah,
like the dream back then.
it's hot, it's fresh.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, what's his
And
name?
it's like, okay, you fire Garth, you don't fire Wayne, because let's be real, Garth is just the tag along. Oops.
We're back. What?
So yeah, I thought that was like kind of crazy. It's like, babes, you can't replace Wayne. Be so serious.
I know.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting that at the core of it, it's a love story, and I guess that's why they decided to do it on Valentine's Day. But I don't know that that's necessarily the angle that I would have chosen.
Why? Why? How so? What would you have done?
I don't know. Just like I just thought it was weird that was the underlying like theme. Like,
Yeah, but again, a lot of movies of that era, it's like a love story was behind. Like
true.
behind.
No matter how tangentially, like I was watching, I've been on a Christina Applegate kick. I was watching, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Oh
and she still
yeah.
has a boyfriend, and I'm just like, what? That plot was so terrible. Everything else about the movie I love, but that whole thing, like forcing a love thing in there, it was rough.
Hey man,
I totally get it.
Hey, babysitters were like the plot for half the movies in like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, well into the like 2010s. One of my godchildren's favorite TV shows, like my babysitter is a vampire. So I think it's universal.
Oh
It's just
yeah.
one of those things. I'm like, do people even have babysitters anymore? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It's called the TV.
I mean, I don't think people. I think people are very much. I think kids are still latchkey kids, but it's not like as glamorized as it used to be.
No,
you can go to jail now. Times have changed. So yeah, the whole scheme to get her back, and it's like, yeah, getting her that record deal, and I'm just like, okay.
That music video. That dates it.
You know what? You are so right. So there's this Drake song, "Rich Baby Daddy." It's been out for like ever, and apparently, like it's just the other day, I just happened to be scrolling through YouTube, and they're like, "Premiere this video just premiered 6 hours ago," and I'm like, I don't listen to song for a year. What do you mean the music video just came out? So yeah, it's hard for people to get money for music videos now too, and it's
Yeah,
just real weird.
I mean, it used to be such a big tool to like sell the music and stuff, and now it's like whatever.
Which is crazy because like with the advent of, I don't even want to get into the whole thing with Vivo, but just YouTube in general, where we're not dependent on like TRL and 106 and Park and just MTV in general or VH1 debuting music videos, you would think that there would be more of them, but like music ain't music in how it used to be because of how streaming is set up. Like most people don't. Again, this goes back to owning physical media. I say, you have people that are Taylor Swift fans. They probably go out and buy the CD and the vinyl because she always has a vinyl. And then probably Beyonce, they'll buy that. There's a couple of people. I think a lot of like metalheads will probably still pick up the physical copies as opposed to streaming it and stuff like that. And if you can get it on album, because it just sounds better than streaming. No matter how high fidelity they say it is, it doesn't sound as good as actually like playing it on a physical device. So, but yeah, so I think that has a lot to do with it. But yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's funny. Like I said, yeah, you're right. Music videos dates it.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, they, it used to be more about buying the physical media, the CDs, the cassettes, whatever. And now I guess just, they make all their money through touring, and the companies
That's always been the case though, but I think it's just
Yeah.
more out in the open
Yeah.
about it now, and so more people are like.
But now that the companies are making money off the CDs and stuff, they're like, we ain't putting up money for a music video.
so true. Like I was on TikTok and there's always an artist. Can you guys give me a viral moment so I can get my music video made? And I'm just like, that's so sad. They got you out here begging for scraps with a little tin can. Music industry is in dire straits right now. It's been that way for 20 years at this point.
Oh, me and the one guy at work were talking the other day about, hey, Robert, what's up? About music, the one music video. Did you ever see that Tom Petty one, Last Dance with Mary Jane?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dead woman. And I remember I just watched it at the time, and everyone's like, you think he's doing that dead woman? Huh. Meanwhile, I was like Kim Basinger.
Exactly. But like the fact that she actually breaks up with Wayne and then they go to that tropical resort.
Oh,
what? And then Stacy's like pregnant with his kid.
Well, yeah. It was like, oh, well, no, we're not going to do that
Then
ending.
the electrical fire destroys the house and kills Garth. And they're like, wait, we got to read. That one gets me every time. I love it.
Yeah,
like, do the Scooby-Doo thing. Come on. You know I love that.
Like, we'd end the movie that way. And every time Rob Lowe's just get out of the car because he just had the cavity search.
Oh, that I think that is the like I like the ending. I think the ending is really like I think it would have been wild if they would have just left it at that. I think that would have been like the best way to end it, honestly.
What if she had ended up with him?
Yeah, because that's kind of how the real world works, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, who's going to the movies for the real world, though?
Some people.
Well,
people. I mean, people watch Oppenheimer, like I said.
Yeah, but that would have been a dark ending. Oh, and that's the other thing. It's business. You think if you end the movie that way, you're gonna make money on 2? No.
He gets a new girl, or he him and Stacey raise the baby, and we get a new Garth. No offense, Dana Carvey.
Or he gets a new girlfriend like he did every time in every Austin Powers movie.
Exactly. But I also, during the credits, they wait until the credits fade to black. It's the John Hughes thing. I'm telling you. I think the movie's fair enough. And I think that they did gangbusters. Like, they did this on a $20 million budget, and they got back like $183 million.
Yeah.
I think it was like in the top 10 grossing of 1992, too. So
I remember it did pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't be mad about it, but... It's just so dated and cheesy. But I love the fourth wall breaks, and like I think 2 does get out of hand with the fourth wall breaks a little bit too much. I think they try to amp everything up to 11 from the first movie, and I think that was kind of a mistake.
And it's too much naked Indian.
To each their own. no judgments.
Jim Morrison.
Yeah. I just love that they were performing "Feed My Frankenstein," though.
Yeah.
So niche.
Yes.
Terminator in there for no reason. Shout out to Robert Patrick from Terminator 2.
Well, I was gonna say,
he's the police officer who pulls him.
I know. Was T2 that year?
I think so.
I think they were just shouting out,
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, like if it's not 1992, some people might be like, "Whoa, what's that? What are you talking about?"
But you have to remember that movies like quote unquote blockbusters had longer lasting impacts than they do today because they were literally far and few between. Like we got kind of, I'll use the word spoiled to be nice with like the MCU having like 3 blockbusters a year, and and then like even DC movies premieres were like big events and stuff like that. So we always have like and like Marvel for a while was breaking $1 billion every single fucking time. Avatar was like one of the first movies to do it, and that was a huge thing. You know what I mean?
T2 was the summer of '91, so
yeah, it's still lasting impact, and they probably shot it in '91 too, to be fair. Because if it came out in '92, it was probably shot in '91 and edited and everything and pushed out in '92. So yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. No way. Their soundtrack is double platinum, but it took them 5 years to become double platinum.
Well, that's something. They're still selling the album 5 years later.
Oh, they replaced no.
What?
Apparently, they replaced the first four notes in "Stairway to Heaven" for the home media release. But then
Oh,
this is why I was gonna say no because I have the 4K Blu-ray release from 2022 and it's the same now. But like anything before that, it's different.
for the rights and stuff, so you don't have to pay rights or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that Tia. They actually let Tia Carrere sing like do her
Yes.
own. Because sometimes they don't. Even if you're a singer,
Mhm.
sometimes they don't.
Mhm.
It's real weird. They don't want to pay you. Spoiler alert. See
No.
Terrence Howard and Hustle and Flow. So I just find that really interesting that they actually let her do it and gave her credit for it. And I was hoping that Alice Cooper would do "Schools Out" because that's one of my favorite songs.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
we got "Feed My Frankenstein," which is it's a deep cut, but it's fun. It's fun. Movie is fun. Like I said, it's dated, but it's just like a romp down memory lane for any '90s kid. Honestly.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So there's like some really amazing quotes.
I love
like
you.
I said, we already said Schwing, obviously, I think is the biggest one. But I really love the poster. One of the posters that I saw for it. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll hurl. Because hurl is such a '90s word. It's like like bodacious and like cowabunga and stuff like that. It's just like really funny to gag me with a spoon type thing.
I love you, man. Thanks. I know. I love you, man. uh,
Or the one. What is the Bugs Bunny one? Did you ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he put on a dress up like
oh.
a girl bunny? Yikes.
She makes me feel kind of funny, like we used to climb the rope in gym class.
Or Garth, marriage is punishment for shoplifting in some countries. Relatable content for me.
Oh Lord. Or what they're doing, the Vanderhoff Sphincter says what?
Exactly. The bass player's a babe.
she were president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln.
If Benjamin were an ice cream flavor, he'd be pralines and dick.
You want to get some Chinese? Yeah, I'll have some cream of some young guy.
I think We're Not Worthy. We're Not Worthy is definitely also a classic.
Oh, but again, just another 1992 trope. It's like oh yeah, it's like Star Trek and Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
Do the comparisons. Remember when that was pretty much all we had to compare, just those two.
Simpler times. As I said, I'm doing the Enterprise rewatch, and I am still stuck on every single time I started. I'm just like, I'm not gonna skip any episodes, so I'm gonna be on season 1 for a real long damn time.
I'm still finishing up our Sopranos.
Time cops in space, like I can't. Bacula, I can't. Upsets me every time to have to agree with freaking William Shatner.
Quantum Leap is the superior bacular.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Some say he's still leaping through time.
He is.
Maybe Quantum Leap will finally solve it, God damn it.
Come on, the new show needs to do something. Come on.
They have to.
And they might be. I mean, 2-hour finale. It's 2-hour finale, so I don't know.
I like that Wayne is like in the like hockey too. Like they're playing hockey in the street. And I'm just
Game
like,
on.
Because I remember like, well, mainly because like my generation is like Mighty Ducks generation basically. So every kid kind of tried to get into hockey for a while, whether it was street hockey or ice hockey. I remember that being a whole fad. It's really expensive.
Oh yeah, I know. We did anything in the street and a car was coming. We go game off, game on after this movie.
Yeah. So I like that. That's kind of a nod to like what was going on in the world as well too.
Mm-hmm. I love we don't see,
but yet it's like some of it is timeless, some of it is timely, and then it's just like I said, when you're like watching it like 30 years later, whew, woof.
I love we never see the parents. Either movie.
Exactly.
We never see the parents.
It's giving Charlie Brown.
What?
Although they seem kind of old. Like
I mean,
that was the whole thing. Like
I know.
it's getting 90210 eating Zering. You know what I mean?
I know because doesn't like Cassandra seem like an adult, but like Wayne's dating her, and it's like, yeah. Sometimes they seem like, well, I mean, how old were these guys when they were playing these teenagers? But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous,
Yeah.
especially when you don't see the parents.
Oh, another one about Cassandra. Cassandra, she's a fox in French. Can't even get it out because he butchered it so bad, which is odd because he isn't Mike Myers Canadian,
I believe so. Yes.
and they well, especially at the particular time that he grew up in Canada, they were forced to take French, so they kind of butchered it. I'm just saying.
Well, do you think they did that on purpose for the movie? They're like, oh, Wayne would butcher it.
I guess, but if you can say Milwaukee, you can say that word. I'm just saying.
Doesn't Milwaukee come from an Indian name?
Exactly. Native American, Indigenous, whatever you like to say.
Yeah,
Again,
that's what
this
they.
movie's
Yeah.
dated.
Alice Cooper. Well, yes.
Hey, Tiny, who's playing today? Jolly Green Giants and Shitty Beetle.
Are they any good? They suck. Oh, so it's not an ironic nickname. Okay.
Yeah, then it's not just a clever name. Yeah. Real good. Real good. Or, yes, everything except the reading part. Oh, and they did the classic 80s commercial. Pardon me. Do you have any grandpa?
Yes. Yes.
Bro, let me tell you, like me and my friends, I forget what, like it was like a sleepover, and we begged our parents for that damn Venetian ice cream cake, Vanetta ice cream cake. You remember that one? And like Grey Poupon for our hot dogs.
Oh,
Like one of my first ever sleepovers. Yeah, we begged our parents for that.
I remember we'd always like dare each other. Yeah, go up there, ask that stranger if they have any Grey Poupon. It's like, no.
So funny. Like they don't make they just don't make commercials like they used to, because that is iconic. It's like, where's the beef? Grey Poupon, that damn ice cream cake commercial that made you think only rich people ate it.
And that's the other thing. It's like, I mean, no like iconic Super Bowl ads anymore.
Oh man, the whole they were playing it safe, I guess, this year. Plus we're in a recession. I think they're kind of trying to respect that we're in a
Well, not even just
recession
this year.
finally.
The last couple of years, I can't.
Well,
Can you name a
since the
commercial?
pandemic, if we're
Well,
being honest. Money's drying up. That's why they got Taylor Swift and Casey Travis to, try. So yeah. Yeah, it's like, man, it's so crazy that I never thought that I would live in a time where I could be like, oh yeah, the before times. It's so sad.
I know.
But like, as a millennial, I have literally lived my whole life has been a fucking living through his historic events, like from the Berlin Wall coming fucking down. Bill Clinton getting his dick sucked in office. Like, it's just one thing after another. 9/11, like, oh.
I think again we keep threatening it. We just need to have like
we're gonna have a 90s scandal. We're gonna have a couple of them.
No, we need to do a Salty and Petty episode where we just name as many 90 things as we can. It'll be our we didn't start the fire episode. Jeez.
It's gonna be longer than the hot takes. How long was that? Was the hot takes like 2 hours?
Almost.
God, if we just started from 1990 and ended in 1999, man, yeah, it'd probably be as long, if not a little bit longer.
I mean, just imagine how long OJ would take.
Oh my God, it's like the you probably don't watch, probably never seen this Family Guy episode, but it's like Brian and Stewie go out to this garbage island, like the Atlantic garbage patch, and they find these people and they're like, we've been out here for 20 years, can you tell us what happened? And they start with like the Kardashian family tree, and then they go, oh yeah, like Robert Kardashian died from guilt cancer, and they're like, what do you mean? And they get into the OJ thing. On the whiteboard. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, if you're talking about that, then I guess if you don't know that, then you need to know this. I would never do a breakdown of the Kardashians because it would melt your brain. That is a really huge conspiracy theory, actually. I don't think anybody's ready for that.
It begins with body modification.
Oh, that's literally a footnote compared to the actual stuff that's going on.
Oh,
That's like literally a whole, probably like 3-part episode, to be honest.
wow.
Yeah, I fell down a rabbit hole one day because like I remember I was just like, it was when the Keeping the Kardashians first came out, and I was just like, his ex-wife and his kids have a show, and she's married to, well, at the time,
Bruce
don't
Jenner.
crucify me, Bruce Jenner,
Yes.
the guy that was on my Wheaties box. What the hell's going on here? And I fell down a rabbit hole, and I was just like, ooh.
Hollywood.
Truly indeed. Anyway, and you know what? A lot of this stuff you could probably fall down a rabbit hole too with Wayne's World. Like I feel like a lot of things are cries for help in retrospect. Also, they did popularize our favorite thing. That's what she said.
Yes.
And also not. Oh my God! Yes, Can we bring that back?
Well, I know we can. I don't know.
We need to bring that back. Yeah, I feel so sad for Mike Myers sometimes because he did a lot of great stuff, and just to have Love Guru be the last thing he's remembered for, it's really sad for me.
You're hot until you're not.
So true. You're only as good as the last movie you made.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are my thoughts. Like I think it's a pretty solid movie for nostalgia. But like if you're trying to, like, if this is your first time watching it, I don't think anybody like born after 2000 needs to watch it personally. I don't think the nuance, they wouldn't have the nuance. They'd be too busy looking up stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like it is super dated, not gonna lie. So I just feel like if it's nothing there. Like even the industry practices have changed a lot now. So it's like not a lot. I don't think people that were born after 2000 could get out of it.
That's true. I mean, yeah, it is such a product of its early 90s. Yeah.
I mean, like, unless you just really like Mike Myers or Dana Carvey, or you want to see Tia Carrere in her prime, like those are like, you know.
Oh yeah.
Or if you want proof Rob Lowe's a vampire, I don't know. I mean, like, cause kids today, like, you know, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, I just don't feel like it's up to their sensibilities. Like I said, it's super dated. It's a lot of like subtle racism and things that kids just don't really care for these days. And good for them. I'm glad that we as a society are growing up and moving on, and the kids don't really stand for that anymore. So proud of them. I truly am. Maybe they'll finally put a ban on people over 65 being a president. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
It'd be really nice.
I think a small window though. You got to be 35 and up, but then under, under 65.
Babes, if most people have to retire at like 63 due to
Oh yeah, I know.
You only need to serve 8 years max anyway, right? So
yeah, you can only serve. Yeah,
exactly. So
works.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Works for me.
Doesn't really matter, does it? Anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts. I think it's a solid B+ movie for today's times, but it was a straight banger A+ for me. If we're talking back when I was a kid, I love this movie. I've seen it a million times. And then, like, you know what? I thought about the last time that I ever watched it, and I was just like, it must have been when I bought the DVD in 2022. But I was I had the pleasure of watching this movie sober for the first time in a very long time. And I think that's probably why my thoughts have changed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think the last time I watched it was when I bought the Blu-ray in 2022. So
right after you took your medication, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those movies. It's like that, Half-Baked. There's a ton of movies that I can only really watch when I'm not sober. So
that would be a Lilith's movie review show, Half-Baked.
Honestly.
All right, man.
Or 3 Sheets to the Wind. One of the two. As a professional pirate over on Full Stream Ahead, I think 3 Sheets to the Wind, which is a pirate term, that's better.
Yes. There you go.
I might do video this month. I don't know.
Oh,
instead
come
of
on.
just audio.
Got to.
Pirates art.
I'll think about it. We'll see what we can do.
Pirates art.
So yeah, no. What about you? What do you think would be your grade back then versus now?
I mean, I think I gotta agree with you with the B now, and then it was an A back then because again, yeah, it was had such a impact back then, but now it's kind of dated.
What is even the last movie that had like a huge cultural impact where like people were like walking around quoting it and stuff? Like I can't even think. I want to say it's
Mm.
before 2010 even.
Oh, you think it's that long?
Yeah. I can't remember a movie that was really worth. Well, I mean, outside of like Marvel movies for Marvel people being like dweebs and making quotes they probably don't really truly understand the basis of for the
I,
most
under-
part.
I understood that reference.
Yeah, exactly. Like outside of like a Marvel movie that just like the mainstream goes to see to
Yeah,
go
I don't
see.
know. I mean, but again, there's so much more content now, like movies and streaming and everything. Now it's
Yeah.
hard because more people were focused on one thing. Now there's so many different.
The living, to quote South Park, the living room is dying. Man, that episode hit home so hard. I was like, oh my god, I'm so old because I am like, oh no, because I never understood the PewDiePie thing, the Let's Plays of it all. I've just never understood it. That's when I knew I was old, when Let's Plays started being a thing. Like, so you want to watch a guy play the game instead of actually playing the game yourself, or even buying the game and just using it as a guy. Oh, okay, I don't know what's going on here.
Yep. No.
So yeah, we can wrap it up. Tell the kids what they got for next week.
All right. Well, we just made our decision right before this episode. Yes, next episode we're gonna cover the one of our favorites. We're gonna get the season finale of The Irrational with Mr. Jesse L. Martin.
If you can't watch it live, put it on your DVD or watch it the next day on Peacock. As you know, I am my current blazing Peacock era, so deal with it.
Yeah, because I think it is on Peacock the next day. So yeah,
It is, yeah.
set your DVRs, do this, and
Honestly, like the DVR is so inconvenient now. Like honestly, my cable box remote like stays on the table, whereas like the regular, like because you got Roku, so all your streaming apps are right there. It's more convenient for
yeah,
me personally.
it's so weird because like DirecTV was
Plus, no
doing.
commercials to fast forward through.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's so weird because like DirecTV and NBC were doing a weird thing again. Like how every so often they'll be like, oh well, the contract negotiations come
Oh
up,
yeah, demand your peak.
and then you lose the channel for a couple days. But like when you would flip to that channel when they were off, it was like, oh well, you could stream all the content through the the apps and like the Peacock app and stuff. And I'm just like, that's gonna.
Honestly, it's better than paying freaking. No offense.
But no, but it was like DirecTV put that up, and I was just like, are you seriously pointing me to
I think they had to. I think that was partly they had
maybe?
to.
But I was just like, well, you're pointing me,
I mean, it's no sweat off their back. I mean, if you're not gonna have the channel, but you're pissed about it, there's the app.
Yeah, but I'm just like, that's taking stuff away from you.
Most people get Peacock for free because of something.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
I guess that's what they figure.
Maybe. All right. So yes, next time it'll be the season finale of The Irrational. So send us your thoughts on all that.
God, I need Jesse Martin to go back on freaking Law and Order just for a crossover with like Stabler.
Oh yeah.
That Stabler's out of control. Somebody's got it. It ain't gonna be Mariska. Listen. Liv loves when Elliot's out of control. That gets her juices going. You can't change my mind.
Oh my.
Somebody's got to smack Stabler around a little bit. And Jerry Orbach is gone.
Oh yeah.
I think they're gonna all just get back together for a big anniversary episode or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Even shout out to Law and Order LA. Like bring them back to.
Yes. Yes. All right. So send us your thoughts. Email us CapesandLunatics at gmail. saltyandpetty69@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. saltyandpetty69@gmail.com. And remember, you can find all the episodes, this show, and everything else, Capes and Lunatics, social media, the merchandise. If you want to drop random money on us through the Cash App link, treat us like your favorite dancer.
Make it rain.
And of
Make
course.
it hail.
Oh, no.
Rolls of quarters, that's what you give male dancers, in case you were curious.
And if
you shove it down the elephant trunk.
Whoa. Yikes. You deal with the elephant trunk. Some of us will deal with the slot machine. Okay. All right. All right, kids. And of course, if you really want some Lilith Hellfire conspiracy theories, you need to subscribe to this Patreon. And again, the February episode, I think it'll be up by the time you hear this. Yes, Lilith and I are going to review the AVN awards from this year.
Spicy.
Ooh, that's right, kids. You want that? You know what content? Yeah, get over to the Patreon.
Oh, that's naughty.
I have to say it was better put together than the Oscars this year. That's kind of sad. The Oscars were so lame this year. This one was actually really good.
All right. Oh, that's what we should. Oh, make sure we keep a running tally too. It's like, okay, how are they better or how are they similar to the Oscars? All right. So yes, so find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever. I love it.
All right, Love Hellfire. You can find Granny herself on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, if you want, you can friend me. If not, just download all the episodes of Capes and Lunatics podcast, network, and the Sidekicks feed as well. And just go outside and touch some grass, get some fresh air. It's you might not have it too much longer, so. Your mother's a whore! If the government had its way.
Oh, damn.
There was nothing to get wet about anyway. We're not talking about Lauren Boebert yet.
Oh!
Put it here! We're not talking about Trump either.
Guess what? We can do business in New York.
It's so salty.
Oh, there's our sign off.
It's so salty.
Or our intro. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again. Next time, the season finale of The Irrational. The season 1 finale. We better get a season 2.
Bad news.
Oh, we're not?
That's what I heard.
Okay, so this may be it. This may be the final episode. Oh, man.
If it is, it's a pretty good one-season binge regardless.
Yeah.
Jesse will land on his feet. He'll find something else.
All right,
He'll
kids.
go back to Law & Order.
Come back next time.
Same salty channel?
Oh, same salty channel, same petty time. Swing.
Trying to make that a thing.
Swing.